And welcome back, everybody, to the TV show podcast. I'm Jay Black, joined as always by Rhea Hughes. Hello, Rhea. And
Hello.
Angelo Cataldi. Angelo, how are you?
I'm great, Jay. The book tour is over. It was a big success.
I got to tell you, author of the book Loud, Angelo Cataldi, which you can get on angelocataldi.com, where you can go to amazon.com to pick up. You're looking more spry. Because you were weighed down by having to see people, Angelo. I know you're not a fan of that going out.
Well, I was also weighted down by a big cyst on the back of my head that had to be surgically removed.
Oh, God.
I would worry if they were trying to remove a cyst on my head, they would remove my head by accident. They would look at my head and go, oh, this must be the cyst. Let's take it off. Well, listen, I got to share with you guys some big news over the weekend. I subscribe to this thing that tells us where we're doing in the world. And for the first time ever, we cracked the top 50 on Spotify's charts, which was amazing. We're number 38 in TV and arts podcasts on Spotify, which means you guys are listening to us, you're finding us. And congratulations to Jared Clapper for doing this for us. We're going to clap for Jared Clapper. He's our producer who puts all this together for us. It's fantastic. And connected to this, I am told, Angelo, huge things are going to happen on this podcast at the end of this podcast. Is that correct?
Well, Rhea and I noticed we did that show for many years at WIP. We like to do contests and stuff.
Yes.
And tied in with that is some huge news. At least to me, it is big, big news. So I'm going to reveal the news at the end of the podcast, and then we're going to have a little contest. And if it works out the way I will, we can do contests beyond this. This is going to be so much fun because it's what we talk about, TV and movies. And it's incredibly, I just literally found out 10 minutes ago that this was important. And I'm very excited about it.
And just so everyone knows, Rhea and I have no idea what Angelo is talking about. So we're going to.
My wife doesn't know. Bentley doesn't know. I just found out.
Well,
Speaking of Bentley, my dog just is freaking out. Let me just grab some biscuits because otherwise he will torture me for the next 10 minutes. But I'm still here.
Get one for us too, Rhea.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's Gail's philosophy with you, Angelo, right? Just always have food with her.
Biscuits.
Is it bacon flavored? Because that's what Jay Black likes.
I do.
It is actually Rachel Ray. Not that we're doing spots here, but it's Rachel Ray chicken, and he loves them.
I give it to Bentley. Same thing. He loves them. Of course, Bentley would eat his own, but anyway.
By the way, Rachel Ray, if you're listening, definitely we will take a sponsorship. We will take a sponsorship from anybody. If Raytheon wants to come in and push their missiles, we're in. We have
We're number 38. We're number 38.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I wanted to jump in. I called an audible. I sent you guys a text about this. I don't want to get too much into the politics of it because I don't want to make this a politics heavy show. The long and short of it is Aaron Rodgers, who is kind of falling into a right-wing bubble, I guess would be the way to put it, is a paid guest. We talked about this on the Pat McAfee show. A big time pay, $1 million a year paid guest on Pat McAfee show, which, by the way, Pat McAfee just signed a huge contract with ESPN, big money. He went on a McAfee show and sort of insinuated that Jimmy Kimmel was on the list of Epstein's logs of the people who went to Jeffrey Epstein's island where a lot of terrible things happened. Jimmy Kimmel shot back on Twitter and said, listen, you keep this up, we're going to settle this out in court. None of this is true. Very strongly worded. I called him the A word. We can't curse on this. What's interesting to me about this is not celebrities going at each other so much as it is the fact that both of these people are paid Disney employees. Right? Jimmy Kimmel, the biggest name on ABC, arguably. Pat McAfee, by far the highest paid contributor to ESPN right now, would be my guess. I don't know. Don't have the numbers in front of me. And Aaron Rodgers get $1 million a year from ESPN to do all this. My question is, number one, who do you think Disney sides with in this war? And number two, Angelo, do you have any stories from your days at WIP about this, warfare within a company, and how do companies work this stuff out?
Rhea could tell you, I was at war almost the whole time I was with my company. I
With
was
everybody who worked there.
the 800-pound gorilla for a lot of the time, and I used my power. But in this particular case, I am, and Disney is on Team Kimmel, all right? Because first of all, I watched this McAfee show, right? I don't get it.
Me neither.
I don't. I have watched it, I'm saying 10 different times. One time I even thought about wearing a black muscle shirt myself. That seems to be all he wears. But it's not, there's nothing about it other than it's a bunch of guys who have, deals with people like Aaron Rodgers, and he's inside. He's not giving you anything hot or anything fascinating. I don't. Are you seeing anything there that is worthy of all this money?
No, and here's, because listen, I think Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys who thinks he's a lot smarter than everybody else. And so everything he says is like, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers. And a lot of people thought that up until, the whole thing with COVID, and whichever side you were on it, the NFL had demanded that you have the vaccine. Well, he lied about it. I mean, he didn't even say, at least Carson Wentz just said, I'm not getting it, Right. I mean, so regardless of what you think of him. But I think for Disney, it's real simple. Pat McAfee brings in a ton of money, okay? Jimmy Kimmel brings in a ton of money. Aaron Rodgers, they pay, $1 million a year?
Yeah.
I think that they just, say to McAfee, either he's got to be suspended for a couple of shows, because you cannot insinuate that someone is on a list of horrible, horrible crimes that were done that involved the prince and a royal family having to pay a $12 million settlement, that the guy whose list it was on committed suicide in prison. I mean, I watched it, and I think Aaron Rodgers was trying to be funny.
Yeah.
But he's not.
No.
So he's never been funny. He's another guy. I don't understand. You're paying all this money. Yeah, I guess he was, relevant for a few weeks when they didn't know how hurt he was, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But most of the time, is he giving you anything that's so interesting? Oh my God, this is great. And I'm going to go more general on this, Jay. I don't ever want to hear sports figures or celebrities feed me their political stand. Right. That is not, just because I like their work doesn't mean I agree with their politics. Shut up and act or sing or do whatever you do. I don't need to hear it. I don't care what they think.
Nobody has ever said, wow, that guy throws a great spiral. What's his views on epidemiology?
Exactly.
Can we get that? I think you're right. I think Disney comes on the side. Well, first off, ESPN has a history of being the most conservative, and I mean little c conservative channel in the world. They don't like stuff like this happening. I remember Jimmy.
They got rid of people. I mean, Sage Steele they got rid of, and I thought she was very competent, but she also had some views that were different from everybody else.
Well, they suspended Bill Simmons for going after the NFL for lying about Ray Rice. I mean, I
think McAfee's bigger. McAfee, none of those guys were getting what McAfee's got.
No.
When you sign that check, you are also basically giving him the power to say whatever the hell he wants. That's why they have a disclaimer at the start of every hour saying that this isn't necessarily what ESPN believes. But if he says something like he said about Kimmel, they're on the hook for it anyway. Doesn't matter whether they put that out there or not.
Does that fall, because you were a journalist for many, many years, obviously Columbia and all that. Does that fall under the malice or defamation?
It's really hard to win that because Kimmel is a public figure.
Yeah.
But this has a chance because there is clearly a previous feud between the two. Mm-hmm. They've exchanged unpleasantries before. Yes. Then Rodgers comes out and says this, right? Malice. That's the key thing for celebrity. Yeah. If you can prove, A, that it was untrue, which Kimmel seems adamant it is not true, and B, that the guy did it to get you, to zing you, he had malice behind it, now you can collect. So these things almost never work out that way.
Yeah.
If ever there was a chance, there's one here because because Rogers did it for a reason. He's having a feud.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting to see how it shakes out. We'll check in next week and hopefully we'll have a little bit more information. Keeping with the theme of politics leading to other questions. I don't know if you guys saw this. The right wing is mad at Green Day because Green Day went on Ryan Seacrest's Rockin' New Year's Eve and made change one of the lines of their songs to attack MAGA. I think it's hilarious that there are people right now on Twitter going, keep politics out of punk rock. Do you know what punk rock is? It's political, guys. It's the whole point that it exists is politics. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about a bigger issue, which is who's watching New Year's Eve countdown shows? Does anybody, Angela, when I was growing up, I thought Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve was a national institution that we all sat down and watched together, unless you were out drinking and having a good time, which I was 6, so I wasn't yet. Not till I was 13 was I
not till you were 10.
Yeah, having a good time. Do you watch these shows? I'm always working on New Year's Eve. So
I do not watch these shows, but let me say this. This is not a topic I enjoy because in my teen years, my unsuccessful wooing years as a teen, when I was hoping to get dates for New Year's Eve, I would watch, this is how old I am, a guy named Guy Lombardo.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
That's way before Dick Clark or Ryan Seacrest.
I didn't know that anybody existed before then.
Yeah. And when I would watch it, because what else am I doing on New Year's Eve when my own parents are out partying? It reinforced my loser mentality on the other sex. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't watch it now because it brings back memories of a time when I was even a bigger loser than I am now. And I would not watch any of it, but I did catch my wife sneaking a peek at it on New Year's Eve, which is, by the way, our anniversary. Our 24th anniversary was this New Year's Eve, and she was watching it, so it does not say a lot for my ability to entertain her.
No.
Rhea, do you watch or are you out partying?
Like, I've actually been to see the ball drop in New York, which was pretty cool. A couple of years ago, they had Pitbull do like an alternative one.
Right.
And my brother and I watched it, and it was so bad. It was amazing. I mean, we couldn't stop laughing. We were so disappointed when they didn't do it again. I'll always watch it, 15 minutes before the ball drops. But I will tell you, I kind of was off and on falling asleep because I had been to the Eagles game earlier that day, and that was painful.
Yeah.
But my son had a couple buddies stay over for New Year's, and he goes, they were down in the basement, and they were watching it. He said he thought it was pretty cool that we watched the ball drop. It was the first time they turned it on themselves. So it's nice to see a tradition continuing. Yes.
My son came with me to my gig I was performing, and I have him hawk t-shirts for me. That's a family business, like a farmer. He has to go out there.
Yes.
And I haven't seen a New Year's Eve show in probably 20 years because I've been working every New Year's Eve. I don't know if people still watch them, but it's interesting to me that your son enjoyed it. I guess music everybody likes,
Yes.
unless it's political punk music. All right. So, Angelo, you had sent this topic over here and you had asked a question. I want to start by answering a question that I have a take on Ryan Seacrest, and it's a pretty hot take. And you ready for it?
Yes.
Here's my take. I think Ryan Seacrest is really good at what he does. And I think it is hard to be an MC and get out of the way of other talented people and allow them to shine and keep the show moving in a smooth way. I think that is a talent that, like Johnny Carson had. My son and I have been watching a lot of Johnny Carson. I don't think that Ryan Seacrest has the talent of a comedian or an entertainer in that way, but to be able to host a show and get out of the way of other people is an amazing talent, and he's the best in the business at it. So you had asked a question. We're going to get to the other stuff. Why does Ryan Seacrest keep getting these jobs? I think it's because he's really good at it, and it's a lost art. What do you think, Angelo? Is my take good?
if this is such a great talent, like now he's the next Pat Sajak.
Right. He's going to replace Pat Sajak.
If being able to do a lot of these game shows and hosting jobs is so great, how did in the past 3 years all these actors suddenly get game show and reality show hosting bits? Rob Lowe, Elizabeth Banks, Jamie Foxx, Alec Baldwin, Adam Scott, Jane Lynch, Joe McHale, even The Rock, Dwayne Johnson has done one. All right.
Yep.
No, he is ridiculously overexposed to the max.
Right.
And frankly, I don't like it. I'm tired of it. There's never been a reason. He has never been the reason I watched the show. Right. I did not watch American Idol because he was the host. I did not watch him with Kelly. What's that? Kelly Ripa.
Kelly Ripa.
He was involved in that. I would not watch anything that he's in because he's in it. Yet let me just say this. He wants to be the next Dick Clark. Well, I know Dick, and he's not Clark.
That's the title of the podcast.
Oh,
Angelo,
my God. But
I know Dick.
And I don't mean your Clark, Rhea. I mean Dick Clark.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Here's my thing. Like, I think some of these people who are doing like Rob Lowe doesn't need to ever work again.
No.
He works all the time. I think he's a guy who likes to work. His net worth is $100 million, and most of it is actually not from his movies and shows. He and his son actually created Unstable, which was a TV show I wrote. I think it was on Netflix.
Yes,
I really liked it. His money is in real estate. He bought a home in Montecito years ago. He sold it last year for $45 million.
Wow.
I think he just likes to work. Elizabeth Banks has her own production studio. So she was in charge of Pitch Perfect, that whole series. So she produced that. I was reading why she wanted to do it. So in addition to being on it, she's the executive producer. But I think for her, it's close to her home. She said, my kids come over while we're getting ready to work and do their homework. Like while I'm getting, so I also think some of these jobs, these people get to work at home in LA and they're making a lot of money.
And I have one other thing to add to that. I think there's been a shift culturally in the last 20 years where when we were growing up, there was a thing called selling out, and it was a bad thing.
Yeah, you're right.
If you were an artist who did something just for the money, and we perceived it as just being for the money, you were shut down. And people were like, oh, he's just a poser. He's a sellout. You can't follow him anymore. That's gone away. The millennials and beyond don't have a concept of, well, I just did it for the money. They think that's a good thing. And I don't have a value judgment on that, but I don't think that, like, it used to be if Elizabeth Banks hosted a TV show, people would go, I guess she's not in it for the art. She just wants the money. Yeah. And now people just go, she got paid. Good for her.
I think Rhea will agree with this. I am a total sellout.
Absolutely.
My whole journalism career for 20 grand. All right. Here's the thing. No, I don't agree with you. There were great game show hosts, people that made the show better. Alex Trebek was a better example. Gene Rayburn, the Match Game.
Sure.
It's fantastic. There was so many of them. Monty Hall out there. Let's make a deal. No, they are basically just, I don't know why they think Rob Lowe being a game show host is going to make more people watch it. Maybe the first episode, but that's it.
You
Rob
don't think
Lowe is a great actor.
Wait, you don't think he's an entertaining guy? I think he's is entertaining.
I'm West Wing right now, Rhea.
He's phenomenal in that.
I'm right at the point where he left the show.
Yeah.
It was never as good.
Not as good.
That guy is a heck of an actor.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie to you. He's great looking.
Yes,
I mean,
he is.
Unbelievably great looking. He doesn't need to be a friggin' game show host. We need to bring the stigma back, Jay. We need to bring the stigma back where you saw.
I just think while you're naming game show hosts of one of my favorite Dennis Miller jokes, Wink Martindale. What kind of name is that? Hi, I'm Wink. This is my hyperkinetic son, Rem. Okay, so Rhea, you have British Corner. I'm very excited for Teen Corner too, because it's a show I can talk about, a movie I can talk about. What do you have for us on British Corner this week?
Okay, so British Corner, I have a show, Thorne. It's a mystery show that's on Acorn via Prime. It's based off of books by Mark Billingham, and it's David Morrissey, who you guys I think know from Walking Dead. He was the governor, and he's actually pretty big time British actor. I've reviewed him and stuff on the show. He plays a detective who's looking for a serial killer, and it's a real interesting twist because the serial killer doesn't just kill his victims; he injects them with this serum that they basically are paralyzed but alive. It's like really my greatest fear ever. And doesn't kill one of the victims, woman doesn't get killed. So she's in the hospital bed and they have her, like the detective's talking to her, the doctor's talking to her. They have an inner monologue. So it's used as a plot device and it was fascinating.
Wow.
Because she can't, and they eventually realize she's trying to communicate and they create a system with her eye blinks to letters. So I think it's a fascinating, I don't do a lot of serial murder shows anymore because I kind of think that they've been done. This is actually from 2010. It features the second season. A lot of people that we know, Aidan Gillen, Game of Thrones, Sandra Oh is in season 2. So it's got kind of like a lot of names that people know, but it's really interesting. Also, the doctor in this, do you guys remember the woman who played the wife of Kiefer Sutherland in Designated Survivor?
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Flat out gorgeous. So the thing about English shows that I always find interesting is most of the people are normal looking. You don't see a supermodel with big boobs as the hard-boiled detective. You'll want to watch this because she's beautiful. The rest of them all look like normal people. But
hold on. It's
real
called
fun
Thorne,
show.
and it's on Acorn.
Thorne on Acorn via Prime. Yep.
Great.
By the way, Rhea,
you sold me.
I thought of you last night because I took my son up to see Book of Mormon in New York City, which, by the way, both of our first Broadway plays or musical. Now, I've seen musicals, just never on Broadway. Face meltingly good. It was amazing. Yeah. But as we were walking through Times Square, BritBox had its own set of moving billboards. So they were running advertisements for BritBox shows in Times Square. And I was like, well, I get a picture of this for Rhea. I didn't, but I thought of it. I was like, Rhea should check this out.
Yeah.
Hey, that's another prospective advertiser. If they're advertising Times Square, we're right here. We're number 38. Hello.
Yeah. And we got to be number 1 in British murder shows. I mean, come on. Who's doing more than we are?
I'll tell you what. If there's a murder in South Philly, the first suspect to me now is Rhea Hughes.
Me.
She does is watch murder shows. What's this?
I can see Rhea opening a detective agency like Encyclopedia Brown. Like, I've seen enough of these shows. I'm going to help you out. She radio by day, detective by night.
Exactly.
All right. And I'm super excited to talk about what you watched with Clark this week because I feel like you must have loved it because it's one of the best movies ever. What'd you watch?
So for years, Clark has been trying. I don't watch a lot of superhero shows. I'm not into the Marvel. Really, the only thing that Clark and I have in common is I was always a Spider-Man fan. Mm-hmm. So that, we've seen those together, but he's always begged me to watch Iron Man and I had never seen it. So I asked him to do something. He goes, I'll do it if you watch Iron Man with me. So I watched Iron Man. We all know Robert Downey Jr. Flat out loved it. It was really fun. It's exactly to me what a superhero show should be. It should, be a guy who's got superpowers, and it should have witty one-liners, and he's got the, Gwyneth Paltrow is in it, and she's terrific, and Jon Favreau's in it. It was fun. It was a great story. I enjoyed it immensely, so much. Last night, we watched Iron Man 2.
It's great. Not as good, Iron Man 2.
Not as good. But here's what I will say is the first hour I looked at Clark and I said, this isn't as good as 1. I will say the back hour of it was good. There's a cameo by Samuel L. Jackson. Angelo, your favorite girl is in it. What's her name? Scarlett Johansson.
Yep.
Angelo
Black Widow
always claims she's fat, which is not right. But I liked it. It was fun. But the problem is, so I said, all right, well, there's an Iron Man 3. We'll maybe watch it this weekend when it's snowing. And he goes, no, we got to watch an Avenger movie.
Right.
In which Iron Man is in, and I despise the Avenger movie. So I'm going to have to work something in that he's got to do before I watch it.
Yeah, it's the curse and blessing of those Marvel movies, which is they there's
never
great
end.
ones, but yeah, there's no ending to it. So it just keeps going. Angela, what do you got for us this week?
Well,
What did you
first, I
watch?
got to know, where's Iron Man? Where can people see it, Rhea?
Oh God, on Prime. We saw it. No, or did we
Okay,
see it
very
on
good.
Disney.
I think Apple TV.
Or you can get it on Disney Plus.
I'm going
It's
to
part of
go
the
real
Marvel
quick
collection.
here because I just want to update you on 3 shows I've been watching, 2 of which I really love. One I haven't mentioned yet, and one that had an unfortunate ending. Fargo season 5 is spectacular.
Yeah.
It is not. It is. I had not seen Fargo since season 1, but I heard that Noah Hawley had come back, the showrunner from season 1, and it's phenomenal. And you have never seen John Hamm the way you see John Hamm there. In fact, Rhea, I know he's very good looking, correct? John Hamm,
Very good looking.
you
Yes.
will see his naked rear end.
Oh my God, let me leave now.
Men and women are different creatures.
There have been rumors about him, and I was trying to get more information on that, but I wasn't able to.
Yeah.
They were careful the way
That would be the other side.
Yes, exactly. She always knows. But not only is John Hamm great in,
yeah.
If you want to see the best snob in the history of TV, Jennifer Jason Leigh is so, you can't believe what a jerk she is. It's wonderful.
Wow.
And the person that makes the whole thing work is Juno Temple. Is she fantastic? And she beats all these people up and outfoxes them. It's a great season, Fargo season 5, 2 episodes to go. I watched Dr. Death season 2. I had seen season 1. This is an entirely different season. It's about an Italian doctor who is a con man and a hack. And he is he basically cons Mandy Moore into marrying him. And Mandy Moore is better in this than she ever was in This Is Us. This is her best performance ever. And I've only seen 4 or 5 episodes, but it's really worth your while. It's Dr. Death on Hulu, and it's good. In fact, Fargo is also on Hulu. I'm sorry, Dr. Death is on Peacock. This keeps bothering me because I got to sit through the commercials. It's very bad. Right, and finally, I must revise my list of last week, Jay. And I said that The Idol was the worst show of the year. Now that I have seen the finale of The Curse, starring Nathan Fielder and Emma Stone, that's the worst TV show ever made. With that talent, you can't believe how bad it is. I was told you got to hang in. It's a great twist at the end. This show's so indecipherable. If there is a twist, I missed it. It's so bad. So whatever you do, do not go to Paramount Plus or Showtime, and do not watch The Curse. It stinks.
And you devoted 7 weeks of your life to it, right?
Yes, I did. And you know what, Rhea? I still don't think it was time poorly spent.
No. And I will say this, if Paramount wants to sponsor the show, we will revise our ideas on The Curse.
No, we will not.
We are the best show.
We are sellouts.
Jay. You're pathetic.
So real fast, before we get to the big reveal, I had asked you guys, do you have a resolution for 2024 when it comes to your TV watching? Because I have one. And I'll start. We'll go around the circle here. I am going to do less grazing of television. And here's what I mean. I'm a guy, I'll just put it on in the background and I'll do other stuff. And I'll just sort of dip in and dip out. If it catches my interest, I'll sit down. I want to do more focused watching and less grazing as I go through my day. Not only because I think it'll open up me to understanding what's going on a little bit better and getting to enjoy the show more. I think it'll stop me from just constantly having noise in the background. I'd like to focus on my life a little bit more zen for 2024. Rhea, do you have one?
Well, I think what I'm going to do, only because it'll make you guys both happy, is I'm going to, on the weekends, because we're in the winter, and probably, we got a snowstorm this week, I'm going to try Succession.
Yes.
I'm going to try it.
Oh,
okay.
Rhea, it works. It's
okay.
great.
I'm going to try it. Now, how many episodes is the first season?
10. They're all 10
Okay.
except for the last one, which is 9, I believe, right?
But Angelo, it took you a while. Like, how many
3
episodes
times.
do I have to get forward before I
3
quit?
times. And what got me was Roman Roy, the character played by the Culkin kid. I can't remember his first name. I'm telling you, Rhea, focus on his performance. There's never been a character like him on television. And it changed. And the more you get into that, the rest of it comes together, and it's great. It's the best show of the year. And
I'm not going to.
It's roots. It's the English people.
English, that's what you told me. So I'm not going to give a review next week because it's going to take me a little while to get through it. I got the Eagles, game, and it's not going to be through. But give me a couple of weeks. Great. I will try to get through the whole first season, and then I will give my review.
And Jay, my resolution is very simple. And I know this will seem weird to people because I watch 6 to 8 hours of TV every day now. My resolution is to watch a lot more TV in 20. Why do I say that? I'm going to tell you, this is the truth too. This tells you a lot. Whenever I am someplace or doing something, I always say to myself, I would be happier if I were watching television. Even bad TV to me is better than most things in life. So I am hoping to upgrade, at least go 2 extra hours a day of television, which will only give me even more expertise.
Yes.
On 38th ranked podcast on Spotify. That's the way I'm looking at it. Whatever. It's great.
Angelo, I love it.
Love it.
All right. Now,
we have the contest.
Okay, you want to do the contest, or you want to do the recap and then the contest?
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you may have heard about this book that we have been promoting to death. I just did a very long book tour. It was extremely successful. I have been contacted in the last 48 hours from an established Hollywood movie producer who is all but begging me to give him the rights to do a screenplay based on my book.
Wow.
Yes.
And we are in a active dialogue.
Wow.
Right now, Jay, I'm not positive I own the rights to it because I sold. I may have to involve my the publisher and my literary agent, all this. But right now, I'm in direct communication. This is a real producer.
I know who it is.
No, you don't. It's not.
Yes, I do.
You do? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I got his phone number in my phone.
I don't think so. We'll talk off the air, but this is legit now. The chances of it actually being either a movie or TV show are ridiculously small. Jay will tell you tons of stuff they do a screenplay for, but he is currently writing an outline for the screenplay from the book.
Wow.
I want Jennifer Lawrence to play me.
To me, Rhea, I think we can find somebody hotter. I really can't. That is my contest. That may be our next contest because you obviously would be in it. I have in my brain the person who should play me. I mean, I got the guy, and it's not, no joke.
Can I say the answer we always gave on the air?
No, don't even do that, Rhea. The one-armed man from the original Fugitive TV show. No. Here's what I will offer to any and all people who contact us. You know how to contact us, right, Jay? How do they contact us?
I'll put for sure. And Jared, I know you're listening. Let's put my email address in the show notes. So if you're listening to this right now, all you have to do is scroll down and hit the button and send an email. We'll just do it that way.
Right. If you pick the Hollywood actor A-list who I think should play me, and you name the one that I have, you will get a personalized copy of the book. All people who name it get the book. All right.
Wow.
And this is hard to get now. So good luck to you. But then if this works out great, it'll be even more fun when we cast Rhea. That'll be a lot of fun.
I have a guess, Angela. I think you just saw John Hamm's butt and you were like, that looks just like my butt.
There you go.
Gotta be John.
I'd have to see the front to know for sure.
No. It should just be John Hamm's butt portraying you.
Yeah, that would be an improvement, Rhea. Improvement.
Oh, that's great. Angela, well, number one, congratulations to you.
That's
There's a
awesome.
lot of steps that need to happen, but you have to have the first step for any of them to happen. And this is
Hey,
the first
it's fun.
step. So
It's fun to think
wonderful.
about. How cool would that be?
That would be amazing. Imagine us reviewing the TV show
Oh,
based on your life. And we're all like, eh.
and ripping the heck out of it and saying, wow, that was totally. Why did they even try that stupid movie? It was
That
dumb.
needs to be a series, Ange, like 10 episode season.
Okay.
And I got bad news. Nathan Fielder wants to direct and produce it using his knowledge from The Curse, Angelo, to make it
All
happen.
right, do me a favor. Stop naming people
Okay, all
because
right,
he
yeah.
wouldn't be a terrible one. So stop naming people. That
all right,
isn't my choice.
Let's stop. Angelo, do you want to do a recap of the shows we talked about?
Oh, yes, I do. I'm sorry. Yes. If you would actually like to see Pat McAfee, I don't know why you would, but he's on every day on ESPN from 2 to 6.
We like them. So
Thorne is something Rhea highly recommends. It's a great a serial killer mystery on Acorn via Amazon Prime. Iron Man 1, and I think she's also saying 2. Yeah. Go to Prime for that. I am highly recommending Fargo on Hulu. I am highly recommending Dr. Death on Paramount. And I am not at all recommending, I'm sorry, Dr. Death is on Peacock. And The Curse, I don't recommend it at all. It's on Paramount Plus. And hopefully we're going to do a movie that we can do someday about my book.
That would be wonderful. Guys, thank you.
Kill it. I know you are. Rhea's going to kill it.
Thank you so much for joining us. It is a very big deal that we managed to crack that Spotify list, and we can't do it without you guys and the help of our intrepid producer, Jared Clapper, who helps put this together. We're going to literally clap for Jared. Appreciate you stopping by. Please tell people about the podcast, spread the word, review us, rate us, do all that stuff. And we'll be back next week with more great TV talk. Thank you, guys.